Hello friends, I'm here today to discuss the hot topic for running these days, that is domestic flight to resume. The question is it wow moment yet? I'm CA Pankit Gandhi and I will discuss the same in more details. Actual news. The news says in an order issued on May 21, 2020, the Civil Ministry or the Ministry of Civil Aviation has said that domestic flights can be resumed from May 25th onwards. What more? They have also issued standard operating procedures that airlines and airports need to follow. What more? Flight operation will resume with one third of the schedule, with most expected airports expected to be open for service immediately. Is this the turning point for aviation industry? Will this boost economy sector, help people or excite investors? We need to look. Firstly, we will look at the standard operating procedures. They simple enough? These are the standard operating procedures. A brief idea of that, there is more on this. Firstly, they should make all arrangements to ensure that the risk of transmission of COVID-19 virus is minimized. Secondly, they should disseminate information regarding the precautionary measures to be taken by the passengers through their websites, travel agents, call centers, airport displays, or airport assistant booths. They should also train or educate their staff and the staff at the ground levels about various measures that they need to take. The aircraft needs to be sanitized after every trip and at the end of every day. They should also take adequate steps to ensure that all tickets are sold electronically only. They should also teach the passengers or educate them about the check-in progress, web check-in progress. They need to take a certificate from each passenger regarding the status of their health, either through the Arogya Setu app or a self-declaration form. An airline needs to keep a record of the officer declaration and give it to the government as and when asked for. Only one check-in baggage is allowed apart from one handbag. Is enough? No, there is more. They should provide adequate protective care to all their staff. The protective cares are not available instantly. They need to buy it from the market and give it to the crew. They need to provide adequate protective care to all their staff. All their staff have to be adequately trained about the protective measures. Make adequate staff available at the entry of the airport to assist the passengers. Each passenger's body temperature needs to be taken. If there are any symptomatic passengers, they need to stop them there itself. Not only there, even before boarding, the passengers are rescanned for their body temperature. Frontline staff to wear mandatory protective gear. Airlines to supply protection kit to each passengers. What is this kit? 3-layered mask, surgical mask, a face shield, a sanitizer. This needs to be given to each and every passenger. What's more, cabin crew must wear PPE. There shall be no meal service, no papers, no magazines, no blankets. On the contrary, no onboard sales too. So this is given by the government to start with the domestic flights. Let us look more. Airline fare cap. Till now the news was good. Okay, there needs to be some expenses need to be incurred at the start, and then yes, we are on. No, we are not. What about the revenues? Government has asked to cap the fares. Cap the fares. What do you mean by fare cap? A normal Mumbai Delhi flight on the last day cost around 21,000 rupees. The government has asked them to keep a fare maximum up to 10,000 or 11,000 rupees. So will it help airlines or customers? Neither of them. So what are the options available? Option available to the air flyers. You want to fly your aeroplanes? This is a fair cap. You have to do by this way only. So accept the government's condition or don't fly. So what are the challenges? Airlines will say that the initial flights will be full because there are many people stuck up in different parts of country who wants to go to their home. And but what about the future? Future, the demand will be muted as time goes on and minimum fares are higher than what it should have been. However, the weakest player suffers the most as it cannot use discounting as a method to steal share from the competitors as well as buses and trains or to stimulate the demand. Then the demand goes to the strongest player offering that fare. So we are in a dilemma. Will airlines start to go up or go up in the aviation industry, or it will still deteriorate? So we'll check what's happening in other part of the world. So what are the effects of this decision? Firstly, effect on the airlines. There are high restarting cost. Looking at the SOP government has introduced, maintenance of aircraft stranded for 2 months, other recurring costs already incurred during the lockdown period, limited say on the ticket cost, additional airport cost apportioned to them, and limited demand and future is still not clear. What are the effects on dependent industry? As said, the tickets are sold at a low price, but cost will be there. The dependent industry cost will be there, but the running cost might go down. Starting up will help the dependent industry to start generating revenues like fuel, rubber, engineers, other professionals or dependent on airlines. They will start generating revenue, but it will also slow down. Next, effect on the customers or the flyers. The stranded people want to reach their hometown, so it's a good news for them. But they need to be more tech savvy, looking at the requirement of e-ticketing, web check-in, etc. They have to reach airport early to complete the additional procedures related to COVID-19. Plus, fear of affecting with corona during their journey will affect their journeys. What's the effect of effect on economy? Although it may look lucrative and seems to be a revenue generating mechanism by restarting the domestic airlines, but the real facts are quite different. Although I can say that there will be more job generation due to the temporary additional manpower requirement to guide and follow the SOPs. Next, what are the effects on investors? I'll look at different point of view. There are many airline operators and airports, and majority of them are privately or governmentally owned. So they need to look on this part. Apart from that, there are 4 publicly invested companies: Interglobe Aviation, also known as Indigo, SpiceJet Airlines, Jet Airways, almost a non-performer since 2019, and Global Vectra, who is a helicopter provider, which is not allowed to fly yet. So we'll talk about Interglobe Aviation and SpiceJet mainly in the technical and fundamental. Firstly, the fundamental. Indigo is a dividend giver year on year. Promoter has the good holdings around 70% plus, which is hints that their environment is good. Mutual funds are holding 7.9% as on 31st March 2020 of the shares of Indigo. The debts are reducing year on year. The price earning ratio is fair, and this is added with increased year on year sales, profit, reserves, and operating cash flow. Although there is a problem with 2019, but excluding that, it has a good. Next is SpiceJet. Promoters holding is around 60%, which also hints at their involvement. Mutual funds are holding 10.28% of SpiceJet shares. which is added with increasing year-on-year sales, revenue, profits, and profit positive cash flows. Technically speaking, Indigo, this is a weekly chart of Indigo. It is running into a downtrend and has this is running into a downtrend and has been in a consolidation for last few weeks. The initially the target might come up to 700 or and go up again, looking at the long term support, or it may directly start rising from this news and cross the 1068.30 levels of going long. Speaking of SpiceJet, this is a daily chart of SpiceJet. The SpiceJet is not in good pictures yet. It is running into a wedge from last few months, of course after COVID started, and today's price 44.95 is hinting at the same, going upwards towards the 60 or 70 target. You must have heard of Compass Airlines, Trans-United States Airlines, Flybe, Virgin Australia, Thai Airways. These all airlines have filed for bankruptcy. The Virgin Australia is the biggest airlines in Australia, and same goes for Thai. They have asked for bankruptcy and they will shut down their operations almost immediately. However, today there was a news that Thai Airways has been revived by the government of Thailand. So apart from that, there are 4 already, and many of the world airlines could be bankrupt by May or June 2020 because of these COVID conditions, according to the aviation consultancy. You already know that the airlines are grounded for 2 months around the world. So, am I someone to say something? No. Okay, then we will hear from the legendary person. Who is a legendary person? Of course, Mr. Warren Buffett. He's the best investor, a legendary investor around the world. What he says? He says, I don't know that 3 or 4 years from now, people will fly as many passenger miles as they did last year. They have got too many planes. Well, this is what Buffett said. He has sold all his shares in the airline industry during this 2020 COVID era. His holdings were in larger airlines, but that included a substantial stake in the low-cost carriers Southwest Airlines. His company, Berkshire Hathaway, initially invested around billions of dollars in these airlines, and they have sold it at a loss. You may think that this loss of Buffett is a small loss, but it is a rare loss. He never makes losses mostly. What more? Employments. Airlines gives employment, direct employment with operators. That's the airline operators. Retails, car rentals, custom and immigration, freight forwarders, caterings, light services, cabin crews, ground services, executives, check-in staff, training staff, maintenance staff, engineers, designers, air traffic controllers, executives. There are indirect jobs to fuel suppliers, construction companies of airports, manufacturers of goods sold in airports, and other business services like call centers, IT, accountancy, and the bigger one, the tourism industry. These all are dependent on the airlines industry. So these are the ones who will get affected if airlines are not shuttered. A single airline going bankrupt will hamper all this. Statistically, there are 12 carriers flying around in India with 70%, which constitutes of 70%, and 5 international carriers serving India as well as international. Around 80% of passengers flown are domestic passengers flying from one city to another city within the country. That accounts to 275.22 million passenger miles and 69.48, that is 20% in international. So looking at this 2019 figures, there is a problem that 20% of the international revenue will go for a toss, and up from the 80% domestic, they have been instructed to run at 1/3 of capacity. So calculating this, 50% of its revenue will go for a toss. So there are more than 137 airports in India. India is world's third largest domestic aviation market and third largest aviation market as a whole. India has huge growth opportunities, as air transport is still expensive for majority of country's population. As of November 2019, there are 680 airplanes in the fleet of all the Indian operators. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is airports are running into chronic losses. Even the airlines are running into chronic loss. There is more dependence on the subsidies given by the government. There is an increasing political control over operations, and now the government control over the operations. Next thing, any analysis of demand must include the fear of coronavirus among the potential leisure travelers. Furthermore, business travel could decline permanently because of the growing shift to video communication services such as Zoom. Next, the airports need to incur expenses at the start to cater the demands of the SOP and government, which increases their cost. Plus, they have low fares, that means they cannot recover the cost incurred right now on this SOP from the customers. Especially low cost carriers, they are the budget airlines. They are a risky investment as on 2020. However, risks sometimes give investors high returns too. So fear of the coronavirus will likely to subside in the coming weeks or months, particularly among the less vulnerable group of 10 to 60. The doctors and scientists are developing vaccines and treatments. The people are building their immunity. As this happens, investors in the surviving airlines could make impressive gains. So we need to watch what is happening ahead. Thank you for watching the video. We will be back with more videos on different topics. So tune in. Take care. Thank you.